Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Donnie again. If this is your first time, thanks for checking it out. Make sure that you like, subscribe, share this with your friends, leave comments, whether you like it, you don't. If there's stuff I could be doing better, if there's stuff you want to hear me talk about, make sure to leave that all in the comments. Today, I'm going to tell you guys the story of how I started making beats. Now, just remember, this was like 20 years ago. So the technology was a little bit different. The accessibility was way different. You know, it was really weird at the time to find people who had home studios or even had production equipment. It was harder to find at the time, and it wasn't so easy for just anybody to do. So let's just jump right into this. I hope you guys enjoy this. This beat is a banger. As I was editing this video and putting it all together, I was just amazed. I really love this one, and I hope that you guys do too. So let's just jump right into it. So as a child, I always wanted to make music. I was always curious about the process of writing, arranging, recording, releasing music. Everything about it I was really obsessed with pretty much my whole life. Where do I go to do this? Or what do I need to do this? And I started hearing rumors of this video game for PlayStation 2 called the MTV Music Generator. The first piece of gear that I ever made music on was a PlayStation 2. That's right. It was 22 years ago, 2002. The MTV Music Generator Part 2 came out for the PlayStation 2. And it was with that game that I got into producing beats, making instrumentals. Now, luckily, I had a lot of friends who also were making music and they needed instrumentals. So, as me and my close friends got better at making beats, we were eventually, within a year or two, gifted an actual Korg Triton, which at the time was like the keyboard for making beats. Like it was the one, you know. Uh, the Neptunes were using it. Just Blaze was using it. Everybody at the time had a Korg and was actively using the Korg. You could go through the Korg and find exact sounds out of all these famous songs. You know, Eminem was using it. 50 was using it. Everybody was using a Triton. So we got one of those, and we didn't even hesitate to just jump right into learning how to use that thing. That's really important when it comes to making music. You need to be able to just jump head first. It don't matter what you know. There isn't going to be a right time. I know I've said that before in previous videos, but I have to really drive this one home for you guys. There isn't a right time. You just got to do it. Right or wrong, no matter how good or how bad it ends up, you just got to do it. And that's what we did. We spent night after night and day after day making beats. or trying to, figuring out how to use the arranger, figuring out how to use the metronome, the quantization, you know. And at the time, like, we really didn't understand, the note breakdowns, eighth notes, whole notes, half notes, whatever. We didn't understand any of that. So it was literally just reading a foreign language and trying to figure out our way through it. But yeah, we spent all day, all night trying to figure out how to use that thing. And my one buddy, Nick, shout out Nick Corbin. He's a fucking G in the film world. Anyway, he really got good with it fast. And because of him, I started learning some things. He started showing me some tricks and some things that I wasn't thinking about when I was arranging my beats on there. It really left me wanting to know more, especially after our first studio session up in Detroit. We took the Korg with us, and they plugged it in and they multi-tracked the beat off of the Korg, all in one loop. You know, it was amazing what they did. And I didn't understand it at the time, and it made me want to know how that part of the studio works. Led me into enrolling in college. First, I started at a community college, a local one, and they had a very small recording arts program. There wasn't really a degree for it yet. It was just a certificate that you could get after you did a couple of classes. But so to get into that, you had to do a music class of some sort. So I did piano because naturally I was already using a piano at home. On the Korg, with the Triton. And I started taking piano classes. And I passed the piano classes, and then I got into the MIDI technology program where I learned how to use Reason. And I've never, since then, I've used FL, I've made beats and other stuff, but I always come home to Reason. I learned that in community college in like 2005, 2006, something like that. And then I also learned Pro Tools there. That was the first place that I ever was shown that, it was still expensive at the time, but for a chunk of money that I could attain by saving up, I could get myself a 25 key MIDI keyboard and a trial version of Reason and Pro Tools LE and an MBox. So that's what I did. But, even with learning Reason at the time, the Triton was still so much easier for me. So I just was taking the knowledge I was getting from college and bringing it home to the Triton. And that's when I really started making beats. And, the first couple that I was proud enough to show to somebody who rapped, I showed them to my homie 6-Digit, shout out 6-Digit, and he fell in love right away. He just got it. He understood where I was going with the beats. And, it was an instant relationship right there, which is another thing that I was really blessed to have early on, was I had rappers who had formed relationships with me and trusted me to make their music. But, after that first beat, we ended up making a double album together. Then we made the follow-up album, and then, countless mixtapes, everything. You name it, dude. Like, we've done so much together since then. I'll always have him to thank for the fact that I kept going with making beats. And I think a lot of you probably need somebody like that too. If I were to give advice on this subject right now, if you were to start making beats, try to find somebody who is going to rap to your beats. And, somebody who's consistent and will keep going and will keep moving the ball forward. Because if you don't have that, you're not going to progress. So yeah, that's the story of how I started making beats and how I kept making beats. You can do a lot of that same stuff. You know, those things apply to anybody. A lot of that was luck. You know, things just fell into my hands at the time that I needed them. But I'm not a firm believer in just luck alone. I think sometimes when you think about something hard enough for long enough, either A, your brain makes a solution to find an answer to that thing or to figure out how to do that thing, or B, somehow the universe or something directs that energy towards you to make it happen. It's almost kinetic. Yeah, there was a lot of luck involved, but you always just got to remember, just dive in, just do it. Oh yeah, that story was a lot faster than I thought it was gonna be. Uh, I guess it's easier to tell it than to live it, right? But anyway, all it really took was me just diving into it and learning how to do it, and you can do that too. Anybody can really do that. It ain't unattainable for anyone. You know, just go ahead and jump in, dude. If you want to make beats, do it. Learn that shit. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're going to jump in, you better be ready to learn for the rest of your life. This never ends. You just keep learning. There's always something more. That's why we're all always going to be in different lanes or on different levels, and that's perfectly fine. And you just have to always remember that. Don't compare yourself to everybody else around you. Just let yourself breathe. It's worth it. I promise. But anyway, here's the beat. I hope you enjoy it. I had a fun time making it. I had a fun time being with you guys here right now. I appreciate all of you watching. I hope to see you back next time. Peace.